What a great day. I have the stage and a room full of people who have no other choice but to listen to me. You hear that? Nothing. That's what I have for you as a speaker tonight. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Zero. I have no new ideas, no new inventions, no new techniques that will change your life. But I do have a few life lessons and learnings that I gained over the years working on something I absolutely love, while everyone around me told that I'm wasting my life. So let's get into it. Growing up, I was a huge fan of science fiction. How many of you know here Jarvis from Iron Man? Yeah? Yeah. It was my dream to build Jarvis growing up. For those of you who don't know Jarvis, it's an AI application which is like an assistant to Tony Stark, aka Iron Man. So Jarvis pulled me closer to computer science. I started learning linear algebra, discrete mathematics, programming, and obviously AI. But one person pulled me from making human-like AI systems to building AI systems for patients with cancer. His name is Professor Hal Ellis. He's a professor at MIT and probably one of the oldest people in the field of computer science right now. While working with him, in one of the conversations, he told me that if you want to be a computer scientist, always think about computer science and what. Though he didn't explain it that well at that time, and I couldn't really understand it at that time, this got stuck to me. And after months of hopping from conferences to conferences, I finally found my what in medicine. So, with having applications of AI in possibly every single industry and every single field, how did I end up working at a hospital instead of a 9-to-5 job at some major high-paying tech company? Well, it was fascinating to me to think about I could use an AI model trained on my computer right now and have the potential to save somebody's life. And also, CT scans and MRI scans look pretty cool to me. So, just to give you a picture, with the help of AI, we can fasten the diagnostic process and the time we take to diagnose. We can detect fatal diseases like cancer early. We can build therapeutics for diseases we have never seen before. And most importantly, build therapeutics which is personalized just for you, also known as precision medicine. Sounds great, right? And these are only a few reasons why I got into this field. But people had a slightly different reaction when I started working in this field 4 years ago. Whenever I told them about this field, they would tell me, and pretty often sadly, that, oh, this field is too new. Oh, this doesn't have a scope in a longer run. And honestly, my personal favorite. What even is medicine? So did I spend my next months describing the importance of medicine and why I should pursue this field? No. I instead picked up an internship at a brain radiology company. I was working with the top radiologists and making $11 an hour. And yes, that's a huge amount in academic research. Still, people around me, my extended family, and a lot of my friends who were getting these major tech internships were worried about me and kind of looked down on me. So lesson number 1 for the day. You need to disappoint people who love you.
Yep.
So, it's easy, it's clear. People who love you and care about you want you to have a simple, smooth, and carefree life. They want you to take path which has been taken before and have some sense of success. But if you seek advancement and freedom, you need to take risk. You need to explore areas that have never been explored before and maybe devote all of your life finding evidences that yes, my field exists. So, now you unnaturally became, we have a bunch of questions that how do we break these societal norms, these bonds, and most importantly, crush people's expectations? Well, the key number one is to love what you do. I am constantly drowned in work. And trust me, I'm working 10 hours a day, taking 20 credits, running 4 student organization, managing a relationship, and a good active social circle and earning almost nothing. If anyone else would have to live my life, they would absolutely hate it, but not me. Because I love what I do. I love working at the hospital. I love running these organizations. I love working on my projects. I love taking the classes where I learn, which I would use in the future. So, and there still would be times where you would question your life decisions. You're still gonna get into times when you think, what if I took another path? Where would I stand right now? And I've been there too. Countless number of times when I had $30 in my bank account, haven't slept in weeks, while juggling 4 research positions simultaneously. But then I think to myself that this is the moment. This is the deciding moment. When I think to myself that, remind myself, what do I stand for? Why did I begin this whole process at the first place? And then I just keep moving forward. And this happens, let me tell you, twice a week at least. So, have you heard the phrase that life isn't fair? Yeah? Let me tell you, it really isn't. I spent 2 years working in research before getting my first research paper published. And it took me 4 years to get my first grant accepted. And it was in January, like this January. So, achievements are really essential and they are a great source of motivation in our life, but they're never the end goal. It takes time, but you reach where you want to reach and you get what you deserve. Eventually, I did ended up getting my papers published. I did ended up getting fellowships and scholarships and honestly everything I would have dreamed of. But now that I have all of it, it just serves as a milestone in my journey. Something I can look back at and think how far I've came, and yet reminding me how far I have to go from here. So, the key number 2 is that karma is a cat, and you will get what you deserve at the end. Just keep going at it. Now that I have this stage, I just want to take this opportunity to answer all the people who told me that what I want to do is impossible. Well, I feel like as long as I can do science, I can do anything. Let me explain. For me, I feel science in some way is the systematic transformation of unknown to known, and to its very extension, from impossible to possible. Sure, it's going to take time, but slowly and steadily, we go from lighting an oil lamp to turning on a bulb. We go from riding in a horse carriage to sitting in a self-driving car. And from having computers as big as this room to carrying a much powerful device in your pockets. So, as a person working in cognitive psychology, I pretty well know people do not remember long speeches or things or top text from either the top or the last few points. So I'll concise my speech and conclude it in a really short pointers. 1, nothing is too new to try. Second, if people tell you that something you're doing is not enough or not great enough, what do they know about it? Just put your passion in it. Third, just keep working on whatever you want, and you will deserve what you end up doing, and you will deserve what you strive for. And fourth, and most importantly, there is no such thing as too much Taylor Swift. Thank you.